On today's episode of the Cryptoverse, I would like to revisit an ICO that I spoke about a few months ago that stand head and shoulders above everyone else in terms of their standards of behaviour. So don't worry, they've already finished their fundraiser, so I'm not shilling it in any way. This is not a sponsored video before you say it, and no, I do not own any of these tokens. I just want to point out their exemplary behaviour and how they are the world's first and the only ICO to behave in this particular way. And in fact, this isn't an ICO, it's a DAICO, D-A-I-C-O. So you'll notice the first two letters come from the word DAO, Decentralized Autonomous Organization, and ICO, Initial Coin Offering. So if you read the letters literally, it's a Decentralized Autonomous Initial Coin Offering. And the whole idea of this is to combine the best of both worlds, the best of a DAO and the best of an ICO, but in such a way that it creates transparency and makes sure you don't get scammed. Now, like I said, this is the first, and I think the only project that I've ever personally seen to operate this DAICO model, and it's called The Abyss. And it's basically a gaming platform that's meant to take out the middleman in the gaming industry. At the moment, we have platforms like Steam and Origin that sit in the middle of the developer and the gamer and then take cuts from the sales, which is basically money coming straight out of the developer's pockets. These centralized platforms can also manipulate sales by deciding what to put in the featured section and what to hide in the search results and all that sort of thing. Now, the Abyss project intends to disintermediate these middlemen by putting everything on the blockchain and bringing the gamer and developer closer together. The developer will keep more of the money, the gamer will enjoy higher quality games and perhaps lower prices. Also, in terms of the ecosystem, the token economics means that the gamers can be rewarded for introducing their friends and all the rest of it. So that's all great, right? It's an understandable problem, and blockchain technology is an acceptable solution to that problem. It's actually a good application of blockchain technology, but that's not really what makes the Abyss stand out. Especially since the Abyss isn't the only competitor in this market. Abyss is not the only project that are trying to use blockchain technology to replace like Steam and the Origin gaming platforms. What does make the Abyss stand out is their decision to conduct a DAICO. So that's enough of an introduction to make sure everyone's on the same page. Now let's explore how a DAICO works, and specifically how the Abyss implemented it in their project. Now the first part of a DAICO, it works exactly like an ICO. You build a website, you set up all your social media channels, you write a white paper, you decide on your fundraising goals, when it's going to start and finish, and all the rest of it. A DAICO only comes in and differs after the ICO has finished and the funds have been raised. Unlike a traditional ICO, the project doesn't get all the money in one go. All the funds raised go into a smart contract that holds the funds and then gradually releases them on a pre-programmed schedule. This is what you call the tap in a DAICO, and it can be increased or decreased on the developer's request if it's approved by the token holders. So if nothing else, the money flows to the developers gradually instead of them having this big pile of money that might be distracting or even tempt them to go and buy a Lambo. And without those kinds of distractions, they can get on with actually delivering the project. Now, the second incentive for the developers to actually get on and deliver the milestones that they promised is the fact that token holders can actually cancel the project if they don't feel sufficient progress is being made. In that case, the token holders would vote, and the smart contract would then take all the money and give it back to the investors, effectively cutting off the funding to the project and cancelling it. And that feature dramatically reduces the risk that developers will get lazy, and it also keeps them on their toes. The good news is, this swings both ways. So if the developer's making good progress, and they think they can move faster, well, they can request an increase to the tap. So maybe they could hire more developers and move even faster. Now, the token holders can always say no to these requests, but if they say yes, then the smart contract will automatically increase the amount that it's giving to the developers every month. Now, the Abyss have already completed 3 of these polls to date, and they've actually got all the details on their website. Now, the 1st of July was actually the first deadline for a refund poll. That was not initiated, so we assume that the token holders are happy so far, and the refund poll runs once every 3 months, and the next one is coming up on the 1st of October. Also in July, the developers requested an increase in the tap, and on the 10th of July, the request was declined by a vote of 62%. The tap vote runs once a month, and then on the 10th of August, the tap increase was granted by a 94% yes vote. So the smart contract is now paying the developers 1,125 Ether per month when the initial tap was just 500 Ether per month. And the increase is actually limited to a 50% increase each time. Now, if token holders want a refund, at least 34% of them have to vote for it. And then if it gets a 34% vote, another refund vote is done a month later called the control vote to make sure that the token holders are sure they do want to cancel the project. So if it gets voted this month and then next month, then it happens. So those are the basic mechanics of a DAICO. I personally would like to see this become the standard for fundraising in the ICO market. I mean, why not? Why wouldn't a project adhere to the DAICO standards? I can't think of any reasonable reason why not. I mean, why wouldn't anyone want to hold themselves to these kinds of standards of transparency, fairness, and protection of the investors? But let me know what you think in the comments for this episode. Do you think DAICOs are easy to understand? Do you agree with them? Do you disagree with them? Do you see any reason why a project wouldn't want to do a DAICO? Is there any reasonable reason that would get in the way of the project if they did it? I personally can't think of any, but maybe I'm just an optimist, so please let me know in the comments below. But thanks very much for joining me today, guys. If you thought this video was absolutely terrible, you can hit that button if you want to, but if you liked it, hit the like button, get subscribed, and maybe check out my website where you can find discount coupons to any one of my online courses. You just go to cryptoversity.com, go to courses, and you'll find my introductory courses can be got for just $19.99. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at chrisjsconey, which stands for Chris Coney International. And if you want an email every time I release a new video, go to cryptoversity.com/notifications, and I'll send you an email every time there's a new lesson available. If you've got a bit more time and you want to check out another episode, check out yesterday's episode. But until next time, guys, it's me, Chris Coney, saying bye for now.